Nigerian British singer Seyi Shay A is one of the biggest Afrobeat stars in the world. Her unique style has launched her from Lagos to touring with Beyonce to millions of video views and a huge social media following. She's known for incorporating styles from around the world while also promoting her Nigerian musical roots. Seyi Shay A is in Paris to promote her new single, Gimme Love, and we are so happy she has stopped by to join us here in the studio.
Good
Thanks
evening.
for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Before we get started, I want to give viewers a little taste of your sound. This is Gimme Love.
Right. Thanks.
Love show up and had the business.
Give me love, oh, baby, give me make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now.
Now, as we hear in that clip, you incorporate a lot of different styles in
Yes.
your music.
Yes.
Everything from reggae to house to R&B.
Yes.
Do you think that's partly why your music has resonated so much around the world? Or is it also that Afrobeats is kind of having its moment in the sun, finally?
I definitely feel that Afrobeats is having its moment in the sun. Definitely. Right across the world, Afrobeats is taking over everywhere. But also, I'm originally from the UK, born and raised in London to Nigerian parents. And so my music influences are very, very wide. From reggae to ska to electric to house. And obviously Afrobeat, because I'm African, I'm Nigerian. And I think that a lot of my past singles like Murder and Right Now have a similar sound to this. Sometimes I switch it up a bit, which is what I did with Yolo Yolo, which is a song of a video that you played earlier. So I think, yeah, definitely the resounding sound of Seyi Shay is because of all these, aspects.
And you mentioned growing up in the UK. You've said before that moving from London to Lagos really transformed your career, gave you
It really did.
opportunities that you wouldn't have had. What is it about the music scene in Lagos that allowed you to really flourish?
I think the individuality of the actual music industry in Nigeria, there's none like it. Before I moved to Nigeria, I was with a girl band called From Above. We had a reality show on MTV, and we were managed by Matthew Knowles, who is Beyonce's dad, for 3.5 years. 5 girls, British girls. We got signed to Sony Records in America, but it just didn't quite take off the way we planned. When I moved to Nigeria, I really wasn't, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I just wanted to do something different. So when I got there, and I released a few songs, and I did a few shows supporting a few big acts, all of a sudden my fan base started to grow for me as a solo artist, and I started touring, and I started doing different music platforms. And honestly, I think Nigeria just has a life and a heartbeat of its own. And I don't know. It's just something about our music and about the people. 200 million people. I mean, of course, someone's going to listen, all right? And I've now become an export from Nigeria as opposed to an import. So that's really good.
But what went into you making that decision? Because leaving behind a career that I'm sure you built so hard to make in Britain.
I spent years trying to look for a record deal in the UK, and it just didn't happen. And actually, when I moved back to Nigeria 2 years later, I released a song called Murder, and a record company called Island Records back in the UK had seen the success of it online, and then I got a record deal. So I had to go back to Nigeria, become, a solo artist, popular, that everybody knew. And then Island Records back in the UK said, hey, we want to sign you. And so it's ironic, but, it's a great thing that a lot of people see me more than they did when I was living in London or with the girl group From Above.
I want to talk also about your work as an advocate for women's justice. You were in a popular UN video that remade a Spice Girls song. We can play a little bit of that, the song Wannabe, but with a women's empowerment message. Why is that cause important to you?
I believe in women empowerment. I'm very passionate about the cause. I want equal pay for women right across the world, especially in Africa. I want quality education for women and young girls. I want to see an end to child marriage. I want to see an end to trafficking. And I think that the more women like myself that have a platform and have a voice that get behind these causes, the bigger impact, the more chance we stand of making that change. And so when I teamed up with the UN to do this project. It was probably one of the biggest, most fulfilling things that I've ever done in my life. And of course, it went around the whole world.
Yeah, everywhere. It got so much attention.
It got so much attention. And the global goals is something that I stand behind 100%. And I'm really, really happy that I was part of the project.
Finally, want to talk a little bit about your new music. Shortly, you recorded recently in the U.S., that's right?
I did. I spent 7 weeks recording a new body of music because, I mean, I've been doing music in Nigeria for a few years now, and I really felt like after a particular Nigerian Nollywood movie that I starred in last year, that I wanted to come back into music and really just kind of, you know, change it up a bit. And so
because it's not just music, you're a songwriter.
I'm a songwriter. I'm now an actress, and I started a movie called Lara and the Beat. And I don't know, a lot of people watch Nollywood all over the world. I didn't really know that Bollywood and Nollywood were kind of like, you know, there. So anyway, I started a movie called Lara and the Beat, which is a Nigerian movie for all my Nigerian out there or out here in France. You know, check it out. Or Africans, check it out. I came back to the music and I went harder this time, if you like. And I recorded a few great songs with a Grammy Award winning producer called Harmony Samuels, and I worked with some Nigerian producers too. And the environment was very important for me because I wanted the music to sound international this time. And Gimme Love was born, and I featured a fellow artist of mine, Nigerian, called Runtown. And it just has a more international sound, still Afrobeat, but we're trying to push this one globally this time.
Well, Seyi Shay, thanks so much for joining us here on France 24. We're so glad you could come in. Her new single is Gimme Love, and she's performing here in Paris on Saturday at the VRB Paris nightclub.